Good evening, folks, and welcome to this week's rendition of the Striver Vinegar Strokes Projections. Logan Brown here this evening, bringing you commentary with my partner and fellow 2016 SACO champion, Chris Manross. We all know 13 short weeks ago brought hope to 14 teams across this great league, and only one can bring home the belt. As for the remaining 8 teams, one gets to bring home a different and pleasant prize. Chris, with experience in the bracket of play, such as this, what will it take to come out on top?
Well, Logan, I think you mean come out on bottom. Anyways, well, Logan, it takes willingness to never accept victory. Have the roster construction ability of a really mentally challenged kangaroo, if you will. And let me tell you, I've got some pretty major competition this year.
Right you are, Chris, and we're going to dive right into it. First, we wanted to get started by recognizing a few things. One, being the champion from last year, bringing you the projections this year with my fellow mate and SACO champion, Chris Manross, like mentioned earlier. So, with all that being said, here it goes. We're going to get into some projection, guys. So, with being unbiased, we're going to have me going over the SACO race and Chris here going over the playoff contentions.
Right.
Awesome. Well, super. Alrighty. Well, I'll get started here. So, 8 teams this year, right? We're going to have 8 teams going at it.
8 teams going for the dildo.
Going for that big, veiny...
Big, squeaky dildo.
Doesn't
do much, but it sure does look great.
Exactly. Well, let's go ahead and get dove into it. Dived?
I don't know, Jim.
We'll just roll with it. Let's get into it. We're just going to roll by teams here, and then I'm going to throw some projections at the very end on what I think is going to happen as far as the race for the final 3. There's a little hint for you guys.
And just a reminder, at this point, matchups don't matter.
Matchups don't matter. It's all about points.
All about points.
All about points. So,
points score is the best measure.
Exactly. Points for. So, all right, we'll get started off running through these teams. Obviously, we have Matt Medley, Eli, CJ, Sean, Chris, yourself.
Experienced.
And Tyler. I think that covers all 8.
Almost.
Oh, who am I missing? Oh, and Matt Martin, Adam.
Can't forget Matt Martin, Adam.
No, you cannot. Especially with
the burn.
Especially with the way they drafted.
Oh, that was pretty bad.
Telecommute draft, not so hot.
Not a great idea.
So, okay, Medley's team, we got Carson Wentz. And this is just the meat and potatoes behind the roster. Obviously, you got bench spots. But let's be honest, y'all's teams...
We don't have good benches.
No, you don't. It's okay.
That's right, Logan.
It's okay. So, let's talk about Medley for a second. 5 straight losses.
Not good.
After starting 7-1.
Yep. Started from the bottom, now he's still at the bottom.
Still at the bottom. Right. And, coming off 5 losses, really hard to bounce back.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You would think he'd be dumpster diving, but he's just sitting there signing on the waivers, just playing it out.
Yeah, that's probably because he's higher than a kite. Okay, so we're going to dive into his team. We got Wentz, Hyde, McKinnon, Jordy, Kenny Golladay, Gronk, Nelson Aguilar, Pat's defense, and Ryan Suckup. So Chris actually did the due diligence in rating some of these players, which I think are pretty accurate.
A lot of the research.
Really, the only home run here is Carson Wentz.
That's about it.
Carlos Hyde getting his carries taken by Matt Breida a little bit on a struggling offense. Let's see if Jimmy G turns that around. Jerick McKinnon, you never know what's going to come about him, right?
Yeah, he's boom and bust.
Right? You got Lat Murray in the backfield. You never know what he's going to do, especially goal line touches. Jordy Nelson. I'm going to let you take this one. Jordy Nelson. What do you think?
The White Lightning is no more. The clouds have moved on.
Exactly.
He is a racist. If a white quarterback's not throwing to him, he's not going to catch it. It's not going to happen.
That's accurate. Okay. And then we're going to go into Kenny Golladay, who I'm not quite sure why he's finding himself on the starter spot, but
I think he'll make his way to the bench, but we'll just have to see if he wakes up early enough on a Sunday to tinker with it.
Exactly. And then we got Gronk. Gronk's an interesting one.
Should have a good week this week.
Should have a great week.
Make sure to keep him in your lineup, Medley. He's going to have a big week, or I will not repeat a SACO.
Big week says.
Big week.
Says Chris. Yeah.
Week 14.
He's suspended.
No, he's not.
And then we got the Pats. Defense fucking sucks. And then we got Ryan Suckup. So, I'll get into who I think at the very end. We're going to roll through this a little bit faster. But next we got Eli, team that was right there.
Yeah.
He was right there.
Good team, just couldn't cut it.
He just couldn't cut it.
Welcome to the Sacco.
Good team. Obviously, he's got the number 1 quarterback.
Russell Wilson.
The Russell Wilson.
Led the team to a championship last year.
He did. I remember me freaking out that last week, and then he popped off the second half.
Maybe he'll lead Eli's team to another kind of championship.
Uh-oh. You don't want that championship.
Hurts.
Joe Mixon coming off a concussion. Rex Burkhead seems like been getting the goal line touches and been doing some work. Eli apologized for talking shit on Burkhead when you tried trading him to me. That's the only one I guess you were accurate on. Stephon Diggs. Thoughts on Diggs?
Another race relations battle. Case Keenum won't throw it to him. Case Keenum likes Adam Thielen.
Why is that?
Maybe they are the new Aaron Rodgers and Jordy Nelson.
That's a bold
hot take.
Bold strategy there.
Hot take.
Next we got Mike Evans.
Mike Evans.
Chris brought up a very fascinating stat to me earlier when we were doing our pre-game production.
Production meeting in the kitchen.
In the kitchen, yeah, eating some Chipotle. What was your stat on?
If I told you at the beginning of the year
Mike Evans
that I would trade you to this point, Jermaine Kearse for Mike Evans straight up, what would your answer have been?
I'd be like, go fuck yourself.
Accurate. Well, Jermaine Kearse has more points to this day than Mike Evans.
Wow.
So by that, you should draft Jermaine Kearse in the first round next year.
Fact. Next, we got Greg Olsen, who's questionable, coming off a bad wheel. Martavius Bryant, or is that?
That's Dez.
That's Dez.
Dez.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
Just said Bryant. Followed by Ravens defense, who'd been playing pretty solid, and then you got Jake Elliott, kicker for the Eagles.
Yeah, he's got the Bills on the bench. They might go this week. Not bad on defense. Dez, hopefully the Cowboys can stay in it, but
right. Well,
probably not.
This is obviously a 3-week thing. We're not going to go week by week, but we're going to go over the heart of each team and come to an end conclusion on what we think. Next, we got CJ. CJ battled for the championship last year. Had some talent coming in. I believe Jamie predicted him pretty high, didn't he?
I didn't pay attention to Jamie's prediction because nobody does.
That's fair. Well, he's got Tom Brady, right? So obviously he's a big Pats homer. He's hoping the Brady Cooks connection will force his way to not become a Sacco, because God knows I would not want to see him in a leotard come next year.
No, God, no. We'll let that not happen.
Go
CJ.
We got Freeman and Morris in the backfield. Morris kind of got things rolling last week. We'll see what he's got a few tough matchups coming up.
2-week fill-in. He's going to have to find a third running back for that last week of Sacco.
What happens in week 16?
Oh, we'll get to that later.
Boom! Anyway, that was not very professional. And then we got Cooks, obviously, with Brady. Brady goes, Cooks goes. May keep him out of getting that big veiny dildo. We will see.
Yeah, he pretty much has Tom Brady, Brandon Cooks, and the Seahawks, and I think that'll keep him above Sacco water.
Right. So, Brait, Gore, Seahawks, and Tucker. So, Chris went ahead and rated all these kickers as a 1, meaning trash.
Poop.
Because it doesn't matter.
Very poopy.
Next, we got Sean's team.
Chancho
Villa.
Manager of the year.
We were talking about this over a lunch a couple
of
weeks ago. Why do you feel that, Chris?
Because he lost Odell.
Agreed.
Aaron Rodgers. Then he traded Dez for an up-and-coming running back who then got hurt.
Well, we were also talking about prior to, in the production meeting as well, steal of the draft. I thought it was going to be Adam Thielen.
Best pick of the draft.
Middle of the year, I thought Adam Thielen was it. But you know who emerged?
Alvin
Kamara. Phenomenal pickup.
12th round pick, probably in the first 2 rounds.
Nobody thought Sean had a running back.
Mm-mm.
This guy's a stud.
Nope.
This guy's a first rounder next year, possibly.
Could be.
Heard it here first. Much better than Jay Ajayi, by the way.
Much better.
Yikes.
10 times better.
Sorry, Eli. Alrighty. Sean rolling out Stafford. Got a banged up wheel.
Yeah, not good, not great.
Yeah, we'll see. He's got some tough matchups as well.
Yeah.
Derrick Henry.
Splitting carries. Never know what you're going to get.
Exactly.
Could be good, could be not. I don't know.
But
Kamara is a stud. Set it and forget it. You're good.
Especially with who out?
Ingram could be out on Thursday.
Ingram could be out.
A week for Chancho to get a head start in Sacco.
That's all it's about. Get that head start. Try not to fall behind early. Then we got, Mike Wallace?
He's got Josh Gordon and Mike Wallace at receiver.
Josh Gordon and Mike Wallace. Josh Gordon obviously shot in the dark with, being 2 games in the past 2 years.
Yeah.
So we'll see there.
We'll see.
Kyle Rudolph. Rudolph's an interesting one. It seems as if there's enough touchdowns to go around, but he either goes completely dark or goes off for 2 touchdowns. So
Not real fast.
not real fast. Good end zone target.
Right.
I like it.
He just picked up C.J. Anderson.
C.J. Anderson's going to be an interesting one. I told Chris earlier,
Right.
anything Broncos, just stay away from it.
Okay.
Then we got Packers and Gostkowski.
Packers got the Browns this week, and we'll just see if they can give them 30 points and get them a head start.
Yep.
Yeah, I think John chose a good spot.
This next team, your former, actually current, Sacco champion. Sorry, Chris.
Okay.
We're going to roll through it real quick. He's got Cam. Cam's been going off doing some work.
Hot take this week, starting Jimmy Garoppolo.
Heard it here first. Chris, then he's got LaShawn McCoy, who just needs to get it going. He just
Got Colts this week.
Yeah, he just needs to get going. And then we got Aaron Jones. Who
wire pickup.
was kind of quiet last week until the game-winning touchdown. Game-winning touchdown was pretty nice. Then we got Demaryius Thomas and Michael Thomas, your Thomas brothers. Michael Thomas starting to get things going a little bit more, but man, if I have to see them being vultured by a rushing touchdown one more time this year,
it makes me want to kill myself.
I may hurt myself
Not
soon.
great.
Yeah. Then we got Zach Ertz, who's questionable. So if he gets healthy, obviously he's a top 3 tight end.
Please, Lord, let him play.
Yeah.
Please, Lord, let him play.
And then we got Amari Cooper, who seems to have one good week this year, and that's when
Against the Chiefs.
And that's when Adam had him. Wait, who's Cooper playing this week?
The Chiefs.
Oh,
Interesting. Who just suspended their cornerback, so please, Lord, let him play.
Marcus Peters did get suspended for
Please,
throwing
Lord,
that
let him
flag.
play. Mm-hmm.
And then we got Vikings defense.
Still not great.
And then Gano.
Nobody cares.
Yeah, we'll see. It's a kicker. Next team, Mr. Tyler Hilton, former champion of this great league, don't you know? He's rolling out Case Keenum, which beginning of the year I would have thought you're crazy, but I think he's won himself a starting job.
Not bad.
Then we got Marshawn Lynch. Had a good week last week. 1 or 2 touchdowns. I don't exactly remember, but we'll see. The closer to the goal line they get, the better he's going to be off. And then we got Adrian Peterson. That's an interesting one. 32-year-old running back.
Not good to hurt your neck when you're 32.
32-year-old running back hurting your neck.
Not great.
No, not at all. Doug Baldwin and Tyreek Hill. Tyreek Hill, obviously the same reason that I didn't go for him when Eli tried trading me, is he's too boom or bust, which can save you during the Sacco race.
Yes,
It's all about points for.
Or kill you.
Or kill you. Points for is what it's about. Austin Severian Jenkins.
Who?
Exactly. ASJ has gone cold. I mean, ice cold, Dumpsterville. It's bad. It is bad. If he has to roll him out some more, he may struggle in some areas.
He hasn't scored double-digit points this year.
There's a stat. Tyler's not scored double-digit points.
With the tight end spot. Not great.
Oh, with the tight end
Not great.
spot. I was thinking triple digits.
No.
Yeah. But he just scored like 122 to help me get a bye. Woo! Thank you, Tyler. Appreciate you. And then we got, which Lee is this? Marquise Lee. Marquise Lee. We'll see. A couple touchdowns here and there. Not bad. Chargers and Prater.
Yeah, he's got the Chargers defense, the Chiefs defense, and the Titans defense.
It's a lot of these.
You know how you get Sacco? You carry 3 defenses.
You may as well carry 3 kickers.
Might as well.
Second to last, we got Mr. Matt Martin, new to the league. Also did the telecom draft, which seemed to hurt a few people.
Seems like there's a trend.
Wait, the trend is 3 people who didn't attend the draft
Are in Sacco.
are in the Sacco race.
Because I was there and I'm in Sacco.
Yeah, that's okay. You were also sticker bitch,
Yeah, I liked it.
which I will look forward to you doing again next year.
Hopefully not, Logan.
We got Mariota. Never know what's going to come about him. Started the season off as a hot commodity.
Pre-draft.
Just a hot cake.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Until he played.
Until he played and got hurt. When he got hurt, things were kind of going. Then we got Matt Forte, and Orleans Darkwa. So that's kind of boring.
It's not great.
That's pretty boring. Golden Tate, where did he go?
He goes where Stafford goes.
Gosh, man, that guy.
Red zone targets are not his specialty.
No, being a 5'8" receiver, I know the struggle.
Mm.
And then we got Jarvis Landry, who I traded him, who's actually been doing decent for him.
You could help him out.
Yeah, he's got a floor of 7 and a ceiling of 12.
Yeah. Good, not great.
No, consistent.
What the Sacco's all about.
Consistency, though, is what gets you away from that big veiny trophy.
That is right.
So, we got Jimmy Graham, who's obviously doing work. Red zone target to the max. Broncos defense, who I traded him as well, and then Boswell.
Yeah.
For
he's got Sanu with the flex for now. He could plug in Doug Martin or Bob Powell. No great options there.
Yeah. So, lastly, we have Adam.
One more step before we move on from that.
Yeah, go ahead.
When Deshaun Watson went down, Von Hart went out to Matt Martin. I also traded him, Mariota, so I'm sorry. But since Deshaun Watson's injury, Matt Martin has averaged a whopping 70.6 fantasy points since that week. That will not cut it in Sacco.
You would know.
That is how you become Sacco, yes.
Okay. Well.
So let's go, Mariota. Team North.
You heard it.
Wrong chat.
Wrong chat. Totally wrong chat. Lastly, we have Adam Brown. 3-10 this year. Not what he was looking for.
Must be feeling the burn.
Feeling the burn. What a
championships for everybody.
What a liberal.
Right?
What a flip-flopper.
Mm.
Huh. I thought he was conservative for all these years, and here he is.
Nope.
Liberal state of mind.
Feeling the burn.
Alrighty. Phillip Rivers. This is what it is. Kenyon Drake.
Coming on.
He is.
Good week last week.
He is. Good week,
tried.
but shitty offense.
Shitty offense.
You never know what happens with that. Deion Lewis, I think, is a great pickup.
Really great pickup. I miss him.
Yeah. I think Chris has the opportunity to get Adam out of the Sacco race this year.
Welcome.
So then DeAndre Hopkins just seems to keep him getting it figured out. I believe he has the most, or no, is tied for the most TD catches this year. I think it's only 8 so far.
Yep, he hasn't had a game under 7 points, so that is a nice floor to have.
Yeah, there are 3 guys tied for 8 touchdown catches. He being one of them. Do you know the other 2?
No.
I don't either. I forget.
I'll do it later.
Cool. Alrighty. Next we have
Vontae Adams. I miss him too.
Yeah. We got Mr. Clay.
Don't really miss him, but this is.
Charles Clay, he's an interesting one. The quarterback play is so poor in Buffalo.
Yeah, he's going to be catching balls from Peterman, so they're the defense.
I'd rather have be the other team. Mr. 5 picks himself. We got T.Y. Hilton. Sure.
He ends the season with Denver and Baltimore back to back. So.
Well, Denver sucks. That's why I got rid of them.
No fight.
And then we got the Rams and Walsh.
Nobody cares
about kickers. But I wanted to get into who I think will make their way towards this.
Careful with her.
Beautiful trophy.
Squeak.
There's the squeak. So, unbiased opinion. I think Eli, Chris, Adam, Sean, and CJ are all in the clear. Eli, Chris, Adam, Sean, and CJ.
I could sneak in there.
Possibly. Who I really see going at it is Matt Medley, Matt Martin, and Tyler Hill battling for this beautiful trophy that nobody wants.
Mm-mm. It's not worth it.
My winner of this trophy, Mr. 5-loss streak himself.
Ooh.
Who is actually already on this trophy.
That would make sense. He does have experience with that squeaky dodo.
Matt Medley. I think it just spiraled out of control.
I think Jamie called it.
And I think Jamie called it. You're absolutely right.
Can't stop the bleeding.
And there are your Sacco predictions.
Not great. Not a fun conversation to be a part of.
No, it's
gotta be honest. For a little bit.
With all intents and purposes, thank you so much for listening to me. And on to Chris.
Thanks, Logan. So, ever since week 1, David Johnson's been gone. Nothing really matters in my life. So I've had an opportunity to see other teams and imagine what it would be like to own those teams. So I'm going to take you through the matchups this week, and I'll just throw out a winner just based on whatever. I'm just going to make it up. But I'm going to pick a winner for you. So I'll keep this short. Steven and Logan here have a bye in the first week. Thank God Logan has a bye. Don't know how it happened, but it did. We're just going to have to deal with it. We had a separate chat. We'll talk about it, and we'll all get through it.
Fun fact. I posted it on the chat.
Mm.
In this league, I've never played in week 14. I've always had a bye. Only won once.
Moving on.
Only one once.
So first matchup, we got Peter Maldonado. Don't know how to say his last name. Getting married this week.
Oh.
So you know his mind is not in it right now. And Lord knows his wife's mind is not in it. So let's look at his team. He's got Alex Smith going against Oakland. Pretty good matchup. Oakland is terrible, and Alex Smith just had a 35-point explosion.
Horrible.
A little reversion, but he'll probably get you 15 to 20.
Can you trust him? Can you trust him?
I think in Oakland you can trust anybody but a Denver quarterback.
Okay, that's fair.
He's got Mark Ingram, questionable against the Falcons. I've got to be honest. If Mark Ingram does not play on Thursday night, does not look good for Peter's chances.
That's true.
Jordan Howard's got Cincinnati. Not a great matchup, but they have nobody else to hand the ball to, so they're going to give Jordan Howard 15, 17 touches. Julio going against the Saints. Good, not great. Julio could get you 10 points, get you 34 points.
You know, the bad thing about Julio's matchup is the fact that the Saints control the ball for the remainder of the game.
Yeah.
If they can't sling it around, I don't know if Julio gets that opportunity to give a good 200-bone receiving game like he did 2 weeks ago.
Not great.
What do you have, 2 catches last week?
I don't know.
It was
Not
like
great.
2 catches. It was bad.
Robbie Anderson going against Denver. Not a great matchup, but he has really come on strong. He's got Jack Doyle at Buffalo. P. Ryan at the Chargers.
Just a league slut, by the way. Just been around.
Yeah, he's been around. P. Ryan's shoot.
No, hold on. Let's take a minute real quick. Let's go back on P. Ryan. What happened? I believe it was
Chancho drafted him.
Chancho drafted him, and then he was released.
Dropped him. Rob Kelly gets hurt.
Chris Thompson's the guy in the background or in the backfield.
I dropped 54 fab on him.
$54 in fab.
Going big.
And then
Going
what?
big. And 3 weeks later, he's back on the waivers.
And he dropped.
And then Logan picks him up for $1, I believe.
It was $1.
And then he drops him.
And I dropped.
And then Rob Kelly gets hurt. And now he's a starter. And Chris Thompson gets hurt.
It's
So,
interesting. Yeah.
Shit happens.
Yep.
Then he's got Steelers defense going against Baltimore. That's a good matchup. I'll switch to Rollies. He's got McCown, who's really come on strong. Playing in Denver. Lord, let them have a bad game. Not Denver, the Jets. Not a great matchup, but he'll probably still put up 10, 12 points because we'll fumble it on the one and he'll throw it for a 1-yard touchdown. Melvin Gordon against Washington. It's a good matchup. Fournette against the Seahawks. Seahawks, they've got a lot of injuries this year, but they're the number 3 ranked defense, so not bad against running backs. Alshon Jeffrey's best offense in the league right now. You got that stack with Jermaine Kearse,
Alshon.
who has exploded onto the scene somehow. Jared Cook against the Chiefs, that's a good matchup. Crabtree against the Chiefs, good matchup. Eagles against the Rams. Best offense in football. I don't know about that matchup, so I'll run through who I'll pick. I'll take Peter's quarterback, Alex Smith. Probably the best running back matchup you're going to get in fantasy playoffs. You got 4 studs going at it. If Mark Ingram plays, and he plays the whole game, I will take Peter. But I don't think he's going to play. He didn't practice today. The game's on Thursday. I think he does not play. I will take Roley all day with Melvin Gordon and Fournette. Receivers, you got Julio, again, Robbie against Alshon Jermaine. I'm just going to roll with Julio. You know, when you never expect it, that is when he drops a bomb. And this is a do-or-die moment at home against the Saints. I think the Falcons get it done. Jack Doyle against Jared Cook. I'll take Jared Cook just because they're at Kansas City, and Kansas City can't stop anybody. They're tied with 6-6. This is a do-or-die game for the Raiders.
Fair point.
I think they're going to air it out.
Fair point.
I'll take the Steelers against Baltimore because Joe Flacco ain't.
He's not elite.
He's nothing.
He's not elite.
A very rich nothing, but
Not
nothing.
elite.
So to move on, I am taking the upset. I'm going with Roley. I don't think Mark Ingram suits up, and if he does, I think he re-aggravates injury. Kamara has a big game. I think Peter is getting some bad juju for calling out the sack over there. I think he goes home.
Goes home.
Have a fun honeymoon. Not a champion.
Roley on to week 15.
Roley on to week 15. Who does he play if he wins?
He plays the winner. Yeah, he plays Steven.
So it'll be Roley versus Steven.
Congratulations, by the way, Steven, on the regular season championship.
Next matchup, we got Jamie versus Michael Frey. Just something about me still just hates Michael Frey. I don't know why. He's a great guy, but I just can't get it out of me. I always root against him. We'll see. So let's see. We got All Hail King Joffrey sneaking into the playoffs, going on a winning streak. Got Jared Goff against Philadelphia. Ben Roethlisberger against Baltimore at home. Baltimore's a good defense. I'm going to take Jared Goff at home against Philly. Baltimore defense kind of scares me. I'll roll with Goff. All Hail King Joffrey. Running backs. Pretty good matchup. We got DeMarco Murray against Arizona. Splitting carries with Derrick Henry. Christian McCaffrey against Minnesota. That's not a good matchup. Kareem Hunt is a top-tier running back. Hasn't scored 10 points since week 7.
Yeah.
Not great. Going against Oakland, though, and they're pretty terrible, so it could be his one time to shine. Todd Gurley going against Philly. I'm just going to take Jamie. There's something about this season that Jamie's running backs figure out a way to fall in the end zone. That's just going to happen. He's going to score 1 or 2 touchdowns between them. I don't even know what that's like to have a running back score a touchdown, so it must be a great feeling. So I'm going to take, again, Jamie in that matchup. Receivers. Now, this is a pretty good matchup. We got Keenan Allen going against Washington. Fitzy versus Tennessee.
Keenan Allen has been doing absolute
work. The last
work.
few weeks, he has been killing it. And Lord help me, I did not want to trade Michael Thomas for Keenan Allen. Good call. That's what gets you in the sacco. So we got Fitz against Tennessee. Fitzy still, old man Fitzy, just still getting it done. Antonio Brown going against Baltimore. Not a great matchup, but Antonio Brown doesn't matter. He's matchup proof. Marvin Jones against Tampa Bay. I don't know. He's had some big games, but he's also had some duds. I'm going to take Michael in this matchup just because of Antonio Brown. I can't root against him.
Okay.
I have him in my own other league.
Nobody cares about that. Nobody cares about that.
First place. At tight ends, we got Trey Burton, who's not even going to play because Zach Ertz is fine. He's fine. Against Steven Anderson. Raise your hand if you know who Steven Anderson is.
I don't.
Apparently, he's the fill-in for the Texans. He came on, had a pretty good game.
Yeah, that's what you need to bring out in playoffs.
Yeah.
Big time to bring that out.
Throwing darts.
Good.
James got Marquise Goodwin at San Francisco, at the flex at Houston. Houston's throwing pass defense is terrible, and Jimmy G is going to feed him the ball. You're welcome. We got D.D. Westbrook catching balls from Bortles against the Seahawks. Not great. Cowboys going against the Giants. What do you think about that? As a Cowboys fan, are you rooting for them to succeed?
You know,
is Sean Lee coming back this week?
The scary part is about this whole Giants-Cowboys debacle is the Giants have nothing to lose. Nothing. They don't have a coach. They've switched quarterbacks 3 times in 2 weeks. They don't have anything. But what's worse than a team that has everything to lose? A team that has nothing to lose. And that's scary.
That's poetic.
I know. I just made it up.
Poem. Is it James Joyce?
I wrote it.
That's beautiful.
On the toilet, I wrote it.
And we got the Jets defense going against my Denver Broncos. I'm just going to take Michael because we just throw it to the other team. It's okay. Not great. But we're going to get a top 5 pick. And they both have kickers. Whatever. So at the end of the day, I think I'm going to go with Jamie. I talked to Logan about this a lot. Jamie is my dark horse pick. He is in contention. Got some good matchups. So Jamie moves on to face who?
Jamie goes on to face me if he wins.
Interesting. That'll be a fun matchup to watch. Just briefly, I'll go over the 2 teams with a bye. I'll take over Logan Brown's team here. Zeke gets suspended 6 games. You should not have a bye. You shouldn't have a bye. But he has a bye, so we got to deal with it. I don't know how he gets it done, but he does. You know why he gets it done? Because he has A.J. Green and Adam Thielen and Travis Kelce. Those 3 players have outscored my whole team all year. So, well done. Good draft.
They've been nice. Latavius Murray has been a surprise for me.
Good pick.
I spent, the farm on him.
Let's look at week 15. Let's see. He's got Drew Brees going against the Jets. El Murray against the Bengals.
Yep.
He'll have Mike Davis against the Rams. We'll see if he has a good week against Jacksonville. I'll believe it.
The Rams are the 31st run defense in the league.
Fact check.
Kerwin Williams had 94 rushing yards.
That's correct.
Against them last week, just so you know.
Play it down.
Sorry.
AJ Green against Minnesota. Gonna have Xavier Rhodes shadowing. Not a great matchup, but he is AJ Green.
He
had 16 targets last week.
That's a tough one for me, right? Because the meat and potato of my players is that game. It's Latavius Murray, Adam Thielen, and
right.
AJ Green going up against each other.
Big game there. Adam Thielen against the Bengals.
High scoring.
Playing at home in the dome. That's good for him. Travis Kelce against the Chargers. Chargers good pass rush. Can't really cover a tight end.
No.
So Travis Kelce is almost matchup proof. They gave up 16 points last week to tight ends.
Yeah.
That's number 5. I hate the Chargers. So
That's okay.
Nobody cares. Robert Woods, right now doubtful, could come back against the Seahawks. We'll see. He's got the Bengals going against Minnesota, or he'll play the Bears against a beat-up Lions squad. Not a bad matchup. Winner go home. If Logan makes it to Week 16, he will have Zeke in that lineup, and Lord help whoever has to play him in Week 16. But if he doesn't win Week 15, doesn't matter. So we'll see what happens next week.
Yep.
Last but not least, our regular season champ, Stephen Frey. Pick number 2 this year. Really went back and forth as number 1 pick. David Johnson, Lev Bell. David Johnson's Lev Bell. And I thought, you know what? Lev Bell's kind of injury prone. He missed on training camp. I'm going to go with the safe pick here. I'm going to pick David Johnson. Consistence number 1. Does everything for that team. Going to get you 15 points per week. And I picked David Johnson. So you're welcome. He's got Kirk Cousins, Lev Bell. Kirk Cousins going against the Cardinals. That's a plus matchup. Lev Bell against the Patriots. That's a plus matchup. I think the Patriots will probably double Antonio Brown, leaving up to Lev Bell to just run all over him.
They're going to need to with that defense.
Lamar Miller, Jacksonville. Houston will probably try to play ball control and keep it out of Jacksonville's hands. So we'll see, but not a great matchup. He's got probably Jameson Crowder, so he's got a stack there against the Cardinals. That's good. Juju Smith-Schuster maybe will come back and act like a grown-up next week. Maybe. I don't know. Evan Ingram. Catching balls from Eli. Had a good week last week, but not going to make you hard. Alex Collins. Don't really like the guy. Kind of scary.
That's racist.
It's not. Scary with talent.
Scary with talent.
Scary with talent.
Got it.
Had a big game against Detroit. Gets out in Pittsburgh. Gets Cleveland, who has struggled against the run recently. Baltimore can't throw the ball, so they're going to feed him. Week 15, he's got Jacksonville going against Houston. That's going to be hard. That's going to be a hard matchup. I think Steven's team is primed to get the championship. I won't predict that matchup. But Steven looks like he's on a collision course for Week 16, and hats off. He's had a good team all year. It's nice when your defense is averaging. What are they averaging? Stat check. I don't like fake news. Averaging 19 points per game.
Gosh.
That's 19. That's a lot.
That's a lot of.
That's an RB1. That's the highest total in the league. I was going to that. So maybe we'll adjust that a little bit.
Maybe.
Little adjustments.
We'll see.
But that's it. And so I will pick my champion. Now, Sacco, I know all about losing. Nothing about winning. So you can take this to the bank. At the end of the day, I just think that Jamie Mother Bleepin' Freeman somehow, I don't even know his matchups. I don't even have to look. But somehow I think Jamie gets it done. Maybe it's the blessing of a new child. Maybe I'll know what that's like. Maybe. Or maybe I'll just bring in a child being back-to-back Sacco. What could be worse? Losing the Ryder Cup could be worse. Wrong chat! Anyway, I've got Jamie Freeman taking the championship this year, so that's going to be tough for everybody to swallow, I know. I see his face all the time. Now he's going to have a belt on with a kid. Just all-American, good boy. We'll see if he gets it done.
You know, I don't hate that pick. I don't. And even being a participant in this playoff, it's a hard pill to swallow, right? His team, if you can go back to his previous performances the last 6 or 7 weeks, have been really consistent.
Trending up.
We've got points of
Since week 9.
114, 117, 91, 98, 99.
Since week 7, he has not scored. Since week 8, he has not scored less than 98.
Some would say you're going to be trending in the opposite direction, but I think he's got the consistency. Made some late pickups that I think will help pay off.
Jamie is the 2017 champ.
17 champ. So, Jamie, it was beautiful to me. I loved her. I loved every single minute of her. I unfortunately don't want to give it to you, but at some point in time, we all have to say goodbye to something.
Yeah, let it fly.
I know, but anything else to add?
Those are our matchups. I'm sure nobody's going to actually watch the whole video. You're just going to fast forward to when we talk about your team, so go ahead.
Guys, it was a fun season. Looking forward to next year. Maybe the champion can figure out where we're going to go for the draft. So, without further ado, we will let you guys get going. Love y'all. Peace and blessings.
Go get 'em.
Best of luck to you all, bitches.
And good night.